Hello and welcome back to the Xbox Hut.
You played through all 30 games already?
Of course not. This is a review of the collection, not the individual games. In fact, I probably will review some of the games in the collection because, well, they're Xbox 360 titles that I missed. As for the other games, I will stream select games on Twitch weekly. But enough about me. Rare Replay. 10 out of 10. Well, see you next time. Okay, just kidding. But in case you don't know what Rare Replay is, it's a collection of 30 games developed by Rare that covers over their 30 years in the business. You know, hence 30 games, $30, 30 years later. Older games and newer games play drastically different, and it definitely takes some getting used to. However, what's more important is the format in which you navigate the 30 games available to you. Unfortunately, these games are navigated in a serial order, and I can't help but hope they patch in a grid view to allow for faster navigation. Sure, it's just 30 games, but when your only sorting options are release date and alphabetical, a grid view would drastically improve game jumping. Speaking of which, you will game jump, and returning to the Rare Replay menus is as easy as holding the Start button, or Menu button as it's known on the Xbox One. This allows for fairly smooth and easy switching between games. Prior to each game, you can also check out the button mapping. This makes operating Rare Replay overall fairly straightforward, and jumping from game to game not at all problematic for the ADD in you. Lastly, for retro games, they've also added a rewind function, which is nice since older games are more punitive when it comes to dying or losing. It lets you fail. Again. And again. This part is an obvious smash out of the park. As mentioned, it's 30 games ranging over the 30 years of Rare's existence, all for $30. With hints of DLC also coming to add more titles to the collection, I'd wonder if anyone who argues the value of this game is even able to poop. The real question is if you're going to play all 30 games. Some of the games are frustrating and difficult to jump into and take real time investment, while others are obviously pick up and play. It's up to the buyer to figure out how much they'll get out of it, but I dare say if you're going to play even just 1/3 of the games on display, you're good to go. Add to that snapshot challenges that are a sort of Hello to NES remix, and a load of unlockable documentary-like videos to watch that help you learn about Rare and its history, and it's sure to occupy you for quite a long time. As mentioned before, older games and newer games are drastically different. What's important here is how these games are all presented to you. That's the good news. It's presented to you very well. Each game has its own page replete with music and information. It's all very pleasant and has a festive feel to it that makes you feel happy to be enjoying these games, old and new. The good news doesn't stop there though. Some of the most iconic games in the collection are their upscaled Xbox Live Arcade versions. Yeah, I'm sure you know that Banjo-Kazooie wasn't widescreen and high resolution when it released. This applies to several titles and is nice for anyone who wants to get back into those particular games. And now some bad news. I did run into a few glitches. For example, here in this snapshot, the emulated game's audio doesn't play for some reason. Another example is this game not launching from Rare Replay, and reinstalling it didn't fix it. These are all patchable, but I thought I'd put it out there as each person's experience may vary, and other glitches may occur. And finally, many Xbox 360 titles run in backwards compatibility mode, acting as a sort of demonstration and pre-official release test, and also an idea of how it all works for those curious. So far, it does. It really is pouring salt in the wounds of Nintendo fans such as myself to be sitting here with an Xbox One controller in my hand enjoying an upscaled version of some of the N64's most prestigious, once exclusive titles. It also doesn't help that the pricing really throws a wrench into Nintendo's Virtual Console pricing scheme. Let's face it, this makes Nintendo look pretty greedy for the prices they ask of retro games. Add to that a pleasant presentation of the collection, nods to NES Remix, and a straightforward method of jumping between games, even if it may contain a few glitches, and this truly is one must-have collection for anyone with any feelings of longing for the developer known as Rare. I give Rare Replay a 9.5 out of 10. That's it for today. Subscribe for more Xbox One content patched into your brain. I'll see you next time on the Xbox Hut.